So welcome to another hashtag Ask Jim. Don't know how many, I've lost count, so I don't know what it is. Edition 190, we'll call it that. Before we get into the questions tonight, we've got a lot of people in here to ask some questions, which is great. Neither Success, which is now available via your website and via the Jim's website as well.
Just come out this last week.
It's cost price too. So we're not there to make a profit margin off. It's basically the postage is far more than what the book's actually selling for. So we've actually had people buying 7, 8 of these copies, which is great to give to people, and they're all come personally signed by you if they buy online.
Wow, okay. Good deal.
Good deal. Very good deal.
I'm going to get RSI with all this. We've got another batch of signings.
Well, we've got to do a bunch tomorrow. You didn't think we did so much, but we did, which is fantastic. But get yourself a copy as well online. So who wants to kick off first with Ask Jim tonight? Who's got a question for Jim? All you need to do is come to the mic and ask him, and that's how it begins.
Give it a pen.
Give you the pen. That's it. Who has a question for Jim?
Yeah, good start.
Go for it. We always love the first question. A better marks than my point.
Is there someone?
Yeah,
Go for it.
So I want to ask you, at your age, so you have got the money, you have got success in your life, you have got everything. What still motivates you?
You've got to have a purpose for life. To me, that's what matters. I have a sense of purpose. When I get up in the morning, I've got a reason for doing it. I've got a reason, my family, my children. I've got an increasing number of 6 grandchildren already. My research program, which is where the great majority of the money from Jim's group goes into. We're researching ways of helping people to live better and happier lives. And to my franchisees, you guys. That's my purpose. And I love what I do. And I love to have a life that's meaningful. I think to sit back and just say all that life is just about having a good time and buying a lot of fancy stuff, and it's useless. I don't have any interest in that kind of thing. I just want to do something that really is worthwhile. And I have a fantastic job. I love it. And I'm 73 years old, and I've probably got another 20 years. And I do not intend to retire.
I think you will go maybe 50 years now.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's any medical advances coming through, that gives you a new release of life, I'll take all I can get. Thank you very much. It's great fun.
No worries. Thank you for answering.
That's it. That's how you do it. Good question. Thanks for doing that. Easy. Good. Go for it.
Hey, Joel and Jim. I wanted to ask in relation to, you mentioned just then you got about another 20 years to go as such within that space. We don't want to put too much of a time constraint on that, but just trying to understand within that 20 years, a lot can change from a technology standpoint, from the economics and everything else within the current world that we live in. Where do you see the franchise world moving from where we are today to potentially over the next 10 years to 20 years? And if, as part of joining the franchisee group, where we should be looking to focus our time and effort on for the next 5, 10, 15 years?
Okay, that's good. That's a great question. The first thing I'd say is we're in an extremely good area of business, because you look at so much of, everybody in the past has said, hey, become a computer programmer, or become a designer, become this and this. These are all the areas that are going to be really punished by AI. There's going to be big changes, administration, all kinds of jobs are going to go. We are in an area where we are not going to lose out. We're going to see a booming industry. There's no conceivable AI that's ever going to be able to do the kind of jobs we do as gardeners and cleaners and stuff, unless you have completely humanoid robots, which are really off the planet. But other jobs can go. So we're in a fantastic, good situation. What we've also got, though, is the benefit of what IT can do for us. And we have seen phenomenal benefits. Well, you saw the way that Safi did for Jimbo today. This is a program that does amazing things to make your life easier. It's going to become better and better and better. Even over the next 6 months, it's going to have inbuilt bookkeeping system. So you don't need Xero or anything else. It's going to have a system that will book jobs straight into your diary from the client. Make it so much easier to convert jobs, better for customers. A customer app so people can just go tap, 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 book a job straight to their home. And systems to improve customer service. So even in the next 6 months, you're going to see major, major improvements in technology, more income from our franchisees, better service to our clients. It's very exciting. So I see from our point of view, technology is a huge gain. The kind of stuff we do now could not have been possible before the age of more advanced computers. You couldn't do what we do. The whole system of the way we brought our complaint systems down, that's based on IT. It's based on surveys and automated surveys and the way we handle them and everything else. So very exciting. I cannot imagine where we'll be in 20 years' time. I was saying before, maybe somebody from this group here today will be the ones who go and break gyms into the US market, which is 10 times our size.
Yeah, great. Perfect. Thanks, Jim. I really appreciate that. And I think the response there also just allows sort of us to sort of get on board and get more excited with potentially the journey that's to come.
Yeah, and to be part of it. You guys have got some very good potential, I think. You never know where you'll end up.
That's a good question. And where do the best ideas generally come from then, Jim? Because it's a good thing about 10, 20 years in the future, but a lot of those ideas you might implement over the next 10 to 20 years, where are they going to start?
Most of them come from other people, from people.
Franchisees?
Yeah, from franchisees, also internally. You know, our social media, for example, that wasn't my idea. This is this guy who actually worked basically in an entry-level position, what is it, 10, 12 years ago? 14 years ago. Came into a very entry-level job, got a job which was only temporary, got a job helping the guy who ran insurance, and then he built himself into one of the key drivers of gyms, taking our social media, which you've all seen the stuff that Joel's done. This is an example. It wasn't my concept, it was him. It was Joel who did this. Just as so many divisions, somebody comes to me with the business I never even thought of and say, what about this? And they've got the right background, they make an incredibly great thing about it. And then they're running the biggest, building inspections. Biggest business of its kind in the country. One person came to me with the idea and made a go of it. Or test and tag. I didn't even know there was such a service. They came and they said, here we are, this is what we're doing. Wow, that looks good. All right, we've now got 240 of them.
But if you have ideas, flick them through to Jim, because that's where the best ideas come from, is franchisees.
Keep in touch with me. If you've got ideas, if you want to go to the next stage, like Lance with the Party is a Mowing franchisee.
Driving school, yeah.
Driving school. Came out with me, great franchisee, good customer service, good income, good guy. Came up, he's now running driving school.
Cool, go for it. Great question.
I'd like to hear about a time that you nearly threw in the towel and why you didn't.
I've never thrown in the towel or come particularly close. The worst time of my business career was probably when I just started off. That was when I started mowing lawns full time, and that was back in 1983, early 1983. I started at the end of 1982. I basically failed my PhD, which I've been working on for 10 years. All right, that's not a great situation. Started this mowing business, and it just was really, really, really hard. I just went through some very bad times. I was deeply in debt, didn't know what I was doing, supporting a wife. It was really difficult. But I don't think I've ever got to the stage where I ever thought of giving up. Sometimes I think there's a different way of doing things. I make a mistake, I go one way, I've got to change track. You just got to keep on trying. One of the things about it is this research that's described in this book, which was the subject of my PhD. And I really felt that even though I couldn't get anybody at that time to agree with me, that there was incredible potential for doing something great for the world. To do that, I would need a lot of money. And I never, until that time, thought of making money. I never thought of business. And then I thought, if I'm going to run this thing, I need a research foundation. I need to be able to hire neuroscientists. And I've now got a team of 20 people working for me at Latrobe University doing really advanced stuff in neuroscience and developing treatments for things like mental health problems and so forth. And that's been my dream. And I really couldn't give that up. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm very resilient. I'm very determined. I just cannot. I could not give up that. I don't even know how that would feel like.
Thank you.
Good question.
Very good question. But I think in the book, though, the good thing about it is there's a lot of stories in there which you share with all your moments, which are pretty low, but you keep going. That's probably the key with it as well.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Come through.
Jim, I don't know where you pulled the 20 years from, but I reckon you've got another 30 years maybe left in you.
Well, if you go online, there's this Google things that estimate your life expectancy. All I can say is that if you ask me any question at all, anything at all, I come out as living longer. Like, okay, health, exercise, I exercise half an hour a day running, also weightlifting. I eat carefully, control my weight. I've got a very, very happy social life, which is important. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs. I'm a regular churchgoer. All these things are very happy marriage, very meaningful job. All these things are things that tend to extend lifespan. So probably early to mid-90s, unless medical technology improves a lot.
With that in mind and where you've gotten today with the brand, And you've just talked a little bit about the brain research stuff. What would you like to be remembered as the best, or what does your brand stand for in 30 years' time?
I've never had that question before.
We've never had that question. That's a good one, actually.
Is it different to what it stands for now, or have you thought about that far ahead?
Look, if I had a goal, I don't know about being remembered, but if I had a goal, it would be that every franchisee is completely happy with what we're giving them. Which is, generally speaking, they are, but not all. There's a minority that aren't. If I really thought about anything, that would be my ultimate goal, to try and make my franchisees happy. Now, whether I'm remembered isn't really the point. In a sense, if I could develop this research to the stage where it transformed the world and nobody ever heard of me, I wouldn't care. Because what I care about is doing the thing itself rather than being known for it. I think there's a nasty attitude in the world today. It's all about fame, it's all about reputation, it's all about individual success. I don't believe in it. I believe we should live. I think God creates us for a purpose. We are meant to serve Him, we are meant to serve each other, we are meant to make the world a better place. To me, that's what really counts. Not whether you're the most famous or the richest or anything. What are you achieving in life? It's the parable of the talents, if you think about that, from the Bible, where it's not so much how capable you are, it's what you do with the capacity that you've got. And I have enormous respect for anybody who use their life well. I've got franchisees who do incredible things, like a guy who works part-time. I know there's a Mowing franchisee in Adelaide. He works part-time on his mowing business so he can spend the rest of the time working with the homeless. And there's other people who act as foster parents, and they can do that because of the flexibility the job gives them. These people are heroes. And I think they're as great, at least as great as I am. And having a big name. And it's a funny thing. People come to me, they talk to me because I'm successful. I'm seen as someone you want to. But in a sense, I don't think success as such is what counts. Somebody asked Mother Teresa. They said, "Don't you ever despair that there's so much poverty?" Because she used to work in the slums of Calcutta. "Don't you despair the poverty? You'll never control it." And she said, "God didn't call me to be successful, only faithful." So it's a great question, but that's how I'd answer it.
Thanks.
There you go.
Appreciate
Good
it.
one.
Hi, Jim. Joel.
Hi.
I've got two questions, a bit different. Jim, I know you're into your mental health studies and all of that.
Yes.
I recently had an ADHD diagnosis, and I don't quite know if I believe it or not, So I was sort of wondering if you had an opinion on that, or...
That's an original one as well, asking for an ADHD diagnosis.
That is an original one. So this is a very good group, actually. I'd say that you can use a diagnosis as almost as an excuse for something, but everybody has talents. You know the Coca-Cola company, which is now one of the giants of the modern world in terms of its value and its reach and stuff. I'm not saying sugary soft drinks is something that's great, but I mean, as a company, it's been phenomenally successful. Did you know the guy who was most behind that success actually had the same thing? He was had ADHD, unable to concentrate, to focus, lousy at school, but he was a phenomenal business owner. We all have weaknesses. This is the point. I have terrible weaknesses. I really do. I have no sense of tact. I really do. I offend people without meaning to. I'm to a large extent face blind. I can't remember faces very well, which is very embarrassing in my situation. I am extremely introverted and awkward. My wife would tell you. She says I've got Asperger's, borderline Asperger's, because I do things all the time which is stupid. All right, like that. So you look at someone like myself with all those terrible weaknesses, and I have done all right.
You've done very well, yeah.
The point of it is, you might have something like ADHD, but you have other talents and you have other strengths which are phenomenally great, and that doesn't hold you back from achieving anything.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I had one other question. So I'm coming on as a mower. It's completely new to me.
Very good choice. I have to say I bleed green still. I don't know why anybody want to do cleaning or anything else. I think mowing lawns, gardening, best job there is.
Yeah,
all
being
right?
outside, the sun, the
Sorry to
gardens, the
everybody else, my
grass.
apologies.
Sorry, all your franchisors there who watch it. Tell their prospects to watch as well. That's it.
Yeah.
They keep on asking what's my favourite division. They're trying to get me to say, oh no, mowing. Okay, anyway, sorry. Go
Yeah,
on.
so I wanted to know if you were getting into a mowing franchise now, what your ideal setup would be. Tools, trailer, car.
So I'd start with the basic stuff, your mower, brush cutter, decent trailer and stuff, and then see where you want to go to. So you get to the stage where I used to make a lot of money out of things like hedge trimming, for example. I had a little hedge trimmer. In fact, I got one of the first ones to come out. And it was fantastic because where I used to work, there were a lot of hedges, big hedges, and hedge trimmers are fantastic. I had a little chainsaw, just a 14-inch one, like that. I made so much money from that. So I just start off with the basics and see what you like doing. You might find getting your saw face of a harness and getting up on the roof, because two-story gutters are really, really, really lucrative. You can make yourself $1,000 a day doing that, which is difficult to do mowing lawns. So, and build a repeat business, or you get into landscaping. You might find you love landscaping. We've got people, in gyms who are actually gyms landscaping. They're still legally mowing franchises, but all they do is landscaping, and they have great businesses with multiple employees. There are so many different options out there. See where you go. What do you like? What are you good at? What do you like doing? What gets you motivated? What makes your life fun? Because you've got to love what you do, which is why I'm a perfect gardener. Guess what I do at the weekend? For fun?
Garden.
I garden. I do gardening. I've got this giant potato patch, which is bigger than the size of this room, and I just love digging it. And I got another one which is the same size, and I'm planting stuff, and I'm fertilising, and going to put tomatoes in, and pumpkins, and all kinds of stuff. I just love that kind of stuff. So naturally, it's not difficult for me to succeed as a gardening contractor because I enjoy the job so much. So whatever you love doing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Would you do battery or petrol, Jim? Battery or petrol setup? Battery or petrol setup?
At the farm. Anybody like to guess what kind of mower I have at my farm, which I cut the grass there around the house? Anybody like to guess that? Nah. What? The old, yes, but how old? It's one of these push mowers that you push and you use on actual human muscle. There's no power, no electric, no petrol, no nothing. Okay, I love it. It's a really good workout. Just get out there, push this thing around. And it's so good fun. I really love it. Great exercise.
Good question, Gav.
By the way, that's very good. You can get multiple. You can just about choose anything here. Yes. Good man. I want a cup. You want a cup?
That's no problem.
All right.
Hey Jim, how are you? Today we witnessed this amazing app, and it really, really, honestly, I think it would be like the #1 app worldwide.
Jim,
the way it's
is
going,
the best. We have looked at everything that everybody else does. It is the absolute best, and it's constantly worked back with you guys.
It's
we
incredible.
talk to them, we have trial groups, we say, what do you want, what do you want, what do you want? It's an app developed not by an IT company, but it's for franchisees, for people who do that kind of job. What's the perfect app for you?
It's got so much room to just add on so many modules to it. And
yes.
So I've got an idea, and I want to open up a Jim's tradie app. I want to join forces with you and sell your app.
That's an original one as well.
That is original app. That is original. We're getting
Very
so many
original.
good questions today. I don't know how
We are going to make a lot of money.
We'll pitch Jim. Let's pitch him. Pitch Jim.
Pitch me. Look, you've got my email address. You haven't forgotten that. You've got it written down. All right. You keep in touch with me. We are actually in a situation, probably early next year where we are looking at this.
Is it going to go public?
It's taking it.
Wow.
Why? We're testing it on our busy people, the people who take our overflow work and buy them. We're actually looking at it as an option to actually make this a very major company. I don't think there's anything anywhere in the world that's as good as what we've got.
No,
nothing in the States
not.
or anywhere. And it's potentially a very big business. So, be part of it for sure.
Just one more question. I've watched every podcast, every interview, and I have followed you for a very long time.
That's a lot of hours.
That's
Truly
a lot
amazing.
of hours. We put more than 1 million words into
and Mike,
the Jim cyborg.
Together, we're blown away absolutely blown away. And your life experience, from day one till today, I just want to ask you one question. If you were going to die in the next 10 minutes, and I said to you, give me one bit of advice that's work and personal related, but you can only answer it one way, what would it be?
Live a life of purpose, of meaning.
Nice. Thank you.
And don't worry about being famous or rich, just live a life that's meaningful.
Thank you.
The new book, actually, this one here, is very much on that ground. The previous books, I've done them for years, and this is kind of the guts of it's here. But the big difference, this one, is it talks about franchisees. It talks about living a life with purpose. It talks about family, about why it's so important. I think I'll just finish reading a book called From Barista to Billionaire, which is about a guy who rises from a very humble background to become insanely wealthy. And one of the things he points out is that so many of the people that he mixes with who are so wealthy are so miserable. They're so competitive. They've got this giant yacht, and they look next door and there's this bigger yacht, and they're just full of envy, and it takes all the joy out of life. One of the things that...
Never Enough, quote, Andrew Wilkinson.
Yeah.
That's the book.
Yeah. Theodore Roosevelt said, social comparison is the thief of joy. I just think it's important that we mean something, and meaning isn't everything. Meaning can be a great project like this one. It can be your family. It can be your kids. There's no greater meaning in life than having children and bringing them up to be decent human beings. That is something that survives on, if nothing else. That is a wonderful way to spend your life. And I admire anybody who's a dedicated parent. Especially if they've got more than one or two children, because we're not having enough of these right now. I'm a great people. I've got 10 kids, and I think everybody else should have them too. What's that?
I'm one of 10 boys.
One of 10. Good experience, isn't it?
Yeah, all boys.
All boys?
Yeah.
Jeez.
My goodness, that must have been some rough household.
Quite intense.
Quite intense. Good on you. All right, how many have you got?
I've got 4, 2 boys, 2 girls.
That's a good start. Just keep on going. Keep on going. I'm reading this book. This book's been produced next year called Birth Rate Crisis. It's about the collapsing birth rates around the world, and it's about a psychological change, which is this toxic individualism, this search for status and easy life and stuff instead of a life of meaning, and it's making us lonely and miserable. And I think being a parent is one of the greatest callings that anybody could ever have in life. Yeah, good man.
Well, got to hand it to him. 2 original questions in one thing. I've never heard that second one either, so that was really well asked. We'll see in 10 minutes' time as well.
Hi. If you were to have a dinner party with 5 people, who would they be? Why would they be the ones that you've invited? And what's the one question you would ask them?
Now, you're talking people who live alive now?
Alive or dead?
Well, to be honest, the people I'd most like to get a dinner party on the unlikely event that they would agree to come would be people like Bill Gates or Elon Musk or others who might be able to fund this. Because they've got something that could change the world. And if I could get the ears of even one key person like that, that's what I would most want.
I want to do a fundraising dinner for the research. That's not what it is. Yeah, we're trying.
We will eventually, hopefully get to his attention, because he has the same concerns. He's a very strange character. He really is. Some of the stuff he's done is odd, okay, without putting any... But he's got his right instincts in the right place, and he's an amazing technologist. I think I particularly admire SpaceX. This is a guy who's made space accessible. And I do agree that it's important that we go to Mars and we colonize. I've always been a science fiction fan. In fact, when I was young, when I was 17, 18, my great ambition was be a science fiction writer. That's what I really wanted above everything else. Didn't happen, but one of my many failed ambitions, but I admire what Musk does, even if I don't always like the way he does it.
Got a question, guys? Come up and ask him. Go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it. No, standing would be great because we'll get you on there. We can hear it.
So I had about, what can I say? I was getting a huge influx of calls coming through to my business. So then I went to a human call centre. My internal staff couldn't handle the amount of calls I was getting. So then I went to a human call centre, and they were failing miserably. So then I now shifted to AI. So I've got an AI called James who answers all my calls. And
Better than the humans?
yeah, so the humans...
You should do a live demo.
I should do a live demo, but the humans were failing miserably because, humans have obviously their normal everyday issues where some of them come in, they haven't slept properly last night, and so forth. So when I changed from human call centre to AI call centre, my leads doubled.
Wow.
And then I realised how many I was losing using a human call centre. So then my AI answered 900 calls last month. And he answers 20 to 30 calls at once. And he's now evolved. So my engineers that I'm working with, they're even blown away because he's got personality, he's got humour. If you ask him about he'll talk to you like a human being. And yeah, there are like...
Do you tell people they're talking to an AI?
No. But if you tell him, if some of them catch him out and they say, "Are you an AI?" and he says, "You got me. I am an AI, but you know what, I'm helping the staff in the administration section, and then, they're waiting for me to put this call through once I finish with you." And then they're like, because I get the transcripts and I get actually a recording also of the conversation. So we monitor it all and we get all the reports and everything. But when that's one part of it. I think the other main part that I want to talk to you about is it hurt when they said this because it's going to affect everyone. And they said, okay, that's stage 1 of your AI. Stage 2 is we need this AI to look after email. So it's called, I don't know what they called it. So it'll look after email, look after this. And he said, we can't go to stage 2 unless you give your staff their termination date. And I said, hang on, what's going on there? And he said, well, yeah, that's the way the world's going. He said, we've got this AI and we've implemented this AI to literally shut down every office all over the world. And I said, it's going to hurt for me to do that. So I'm at that point right now today where it's like they're waiting for me to give my staff their termination date. And do you see AI? I mean, I actually jumped on Facebook and all that, and I started liking all these AI posts that come up, and now I'm getting flooded with the world's going to end, like AI is going to take over the world, and it's getting overwhelming about how fast AI is evolving.
Yeah, I think you're going to find a lot of jobs. The call centre's a possibility. We have discussed that. We have been talking about it. We haven't seen anything yet that's at the stage of what our humans can achieve. I don't know what your experience is, but the girls and there's a few guys there in the call centre at Jim's are very good at what they do. We monitor them carefully. I've not seen any AI system yet that gets close to what our live operators can do. May come in the future. What I can say though is that technology always closes one door, opens another. Now, for example, you've got somebody laid off from call centre job. Why don't you come buy a Jim's franchise? Your own boss. On average, our franchisees earn significantly more than we pay our call centre employees. We've got a number of great jobs that appeal to women, like dog wash, for example, for dog lovers, and cleaning and laundry. We've got brilliant businesses. So there's always going to be work for people to do. I don't fear mass unemployment. Because as technology has improved, actually, you actually find unemployment rates go down.
It's true, because there's a lot of you're going to find the rate of how many calls you're going to get for people wanting to open up a franchise is going to go through the roof in the next year, because that's the safest place for them to go, is to open up a franchise and be backed up by a big brand name like this. So I've already spoken to about 5 to 10 people that are running, like, their IT, they're this, they're that, and they're saying, we're actually now searching to see, we need a plan B, and it's they mentioned that they were going to go and open up a Jim's.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So
It'll be good for the next 5-10 years, I think, for us with home services as well. And the American YouTube channels do us a big favour as well, sort of promoting a lot of this stuff too. So I agree. It will definitely be good for us long term for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I was reading a study the other day. There's an MIT study actually that said that 95% of AI pilot projects in corporate organisations, they can't work out if there's a tangible profit and loss or ROI from the project. So there's still a long way to go at a corporate level with AI implementation and actually getting it to do what it's supposed to do in businesses as well. And I'm sure a lot of people see online, you've probably seen those make automations and all those business automations. I know a guy professionally who does that for people, and he says 90% of those things that you see online just don't work in a business, or they break once and you've got to get someone else to come in. So I think the implementation of AI in businesses is where people are coming down. There's a lot of great technology there, but making it work, how to work in your system. Like if you go and do an AI automation for a business and they don't have an SOP of that step to step, which a lot of businesses actually don't have, you can't do an AI system in it. So if you've got your business to a point where you can do that now, that's good on you, because it means you've got a really good, strong systems and SOPs and stuff where you can do that. A lot of businesses don't still, so it's just a matter of, I think there's a bit of the technology is great, but having that mismatch where it can actually be implemented in organisations properly to actually do what it's supposed to do is still a little bit, from what I can tell, a while away.
We use a lot of AI actually, and more of it. Just as an example, we have development programmers who are developing a new system for FMS and also for Jimbo. They reckon already it's saving about 20% of their time. Now that doesn't mean they're going to be unemployed. It means we can do more because we've always got this huge list of things we want done.
But you've got to have the knowledge to check the code though. You can't just run AI code and deploy it.
Basically what they say is they're like a junior, not very skilled programmer. So they can do things, but you've got to check the code afterwards. But it's getting better. And down the track a bit, there'll be better systems around because it's changing so fast.
Very fast,
that it'll do more and more. But we'll still need programmers to do the whole thing. We'll just be able to achieve so much more. If we had the right AI systems, we could do so much.
Yeah.
We've got this dream ahead of us of all the stuff we want to achieve. You know, even with Jimbo, we've got real good plans for the next 6 months or so, including our own internal bookkeeping system, including booking jobs into the diary, including failed-taking systems that will reduce the level of complaints dramatically. This is all planned, and I know quite well, though, we achieve all those in the next 6 to 8 months, we'll have a whole lack of other things that will make it even better. Systems that can do things like looking at the way you are running your business, for example, and giving you suggestions about how long a job should take, for example, or how you can improve your efficiency, those kinds of things, how we can make your life better. Using an app that's really easy to use, that's important. Because you can have apps that are good, but they're complicated. And we want something that anybody can just pick up and use, just the way you pick up an iPhone. And you can look at it and you can start using the address system and stuff. It's all in there. It's really, that's what we want. Something that's incredibly powerful, more and more powerful, but also easy to use. Because we don't want to assume everybody has got a PhD.
We're all big on UX UI, and that's where that comes in, UX UI design. So you want it to be really easy. So you leverage off other things that you use and you try and put it into the
we want all of our franchisees to be able to use this easily with the minimal amount of training and pick it up, and it's so intuitive, so obvious. And that plan, there is so much we're going to be able to do. It's very exciting. Technology is an amazing thing for us. I'm not scared of it. I really am not. I am excited about what's going to happen.
Well, franchisees have been using it a lot for emails. You know, it might sound, not everyone likes to write an email, has time to write an email, so a lot of them have been using it to up their level of professionalism in emails. It helps them win quotes. And that's a small thing. That's been a really tangible benefit. But I know from franchisees who come in training and I interview them a year later. So a lot of them using it for quotes, or they might use it, upload an image and say, upload a planner box in the bottom left corner for a customer, and they show them what it could look like on the job.
Right. Yes.
That little thing like that, right? So that guy's winning a landscape job, which he might not have been able to get because he had to go away and get all the things and do all the images and stuff. So they're probably the two little things that I know franchisees do use it for. So, but it's going to be exciting. I know the call thing we have been looking at. It's just a matter of finding something that works.
Or with a fence, for example, they can actually show a person what their place will look like with a fence, and they can show different kinds of fences. This is what your yard will look like. It's great stuff.
Well, the new Google image generation tool that come out, it's called Nano Banana was the code name. It's very, very, very good. Very good.
Powerful.
It is. You can fool a lot of people with a lot of stuff too with that one, but that's a very, very good upgrade to what they've been having at the moment. Yeah.
It is a massive advantage for gyms. That we're in a situation where we are big enough to be able to afford to spend several $1 million a year on software development. Nobody else can do that in the industry. There's no companies even in the US that are our kind of scale in terms of the way we operate, and it just gets better all the time. Our system gets better. We get better at producing more work for franchisees and higher prices. That's the whole aim of it.
Good question. Anyone got a question for Jim? Guys, who'll come up and ask? I know we went for a while on that. Anyone got a question for Jim? We've got more time. Anyone at all? Anything they're thinking? Surely someone. Thanks.
Hi, gentlemen.
You get a prize. There's your bribes at the front. Yeah.
What made you make the leap from being a simple gardener to going into building a brand and a franchise? And what came first? Was it the brand, or was it the lack of empathy from people that were doing those sorts of jobs? Or
people often have the idea that you, when you do something like franchising or building a brand, it's like one giant leap. It's not. It's actually 1,000 little steps. Like when I was mowing lawns, I was trying to work out everything: how to be more efficient, how to do a better job quicker, how to travel between jobs in the most efficient manner, how to organise everything, the best equipment, everything. I was always looking at it. And then I started employing people and looking at the best way to control them. I wasn't very good at it actually, but I was always looking at how do you promote yourself, how do you get more work. And then I started building up and selling lawn mowing rounds, and I figured out how to do that better. And there's different ways of doing it. It's all described in the book actually. And then I franchised largely in self-defence against another company that I thought would crush me if I didn't. And even then I didn't have any idea how successful it would be. I just kept on building, changing, developing. Every day of my life I asked myself the question, how can I do it better? Yeah. So there's no one stage, there's no clear guideline. I had no idea Jim's would be so successful. I had no concept. When somebody asked me at the beginning how many franchisees I might have, when I just started, I said maybe if it goes well I could have as many as 100. I actually said this is somebody from the media. That's what I said at the time. I had no conception. But I just kept on saying, how can I improve? How can I make my franchisees raving fans? How can I get better customer service? How can I improve processes, reduce costs? How can I do that? You just keep on doing little things. And that's the secret of anything. Not the big plans. The aim is always there, but the tiny little steps that you take to improve what you do.
Very good. Good question. Thanks for that. We've got a couple online, Jim, real quickly. So Adam Al's gone, is Jim's fencing franchise being proven to be successful with providing a stable income?
Yeah. Well, actually, one of the things about fencing is that it's got the biggest proportion of unserviced leads of any division. In fact, until recently, we've never had anybody try to claim pay-for-work guarantee. In fact, at one stage, we had about 60% of our fencing leads were unserviced. So it's a very good business, very suited to somebody who's ambitious, wants to put teams on the road.
It's hard work, you've got to work hard.
Very physically hard work. So it's the sort of thing that you get past a certain age, it becomes difficult. But the demand is tremendous. And what typically happens with fencing is that they don't take a lot of leads because they'll go to do a property and it's got 3 fences put up. Well, you've now got 3 or even 4 neighbours who've got one really good fence and 2, 3 shoddy fences. So they're going to get it done. So what you actually often find is that it goes down the street. So somebody goes there and they'll work in the same area for months at a time, just constantly doing more work. The neighbours see how good it looks and they go through. So it's a very, very good division.
So the Adam for answer is yes. Then Ryan Snooks has gone, have you ever considered sponsoring a V8 supercar, Jim, or any race team on a national level?
We don't sponsor. We just find that's not particularly useful.
But franchisees can at a local level. So Matt Williamson's gone.
Franchisors can. We're a little bit cautious about it. Your franchisor has to get the approval of the majority of franchisees in the region. We've had cases where, like in one particular case, the franchisor was using the advertising fund to sponsor 2 particular local youth organisations. Just so happened his son and his daughter were in those particular organisations. So a little bit sus. We don't on the whole find sponsorship helpful. What we find really helpful is just social media and Google AdWords and those kind of things too.
A lot of franchisees at a local level, if they're involved in a cause or
they
a club,
can do it if they wish to. An individual franchisee absolutely can, and it's a good idea. As Jim's group, we don't do that.
So we see a lot of franchisees, they'll sponsor cricket clubs, they'll do like, I've seen dirt bike tracks, I've seen sprint cars, all that sort of stuff. At a local level, they'll do it.
Local, very much a local thing.
Absolutely.
We encourage franchisees to get involved locally, particularly in regional areas.
Yeah. Works really well actually as a local sort of area of marketing, sponsoring the local
Yeah.
club or anything like that. Yeah. Guys, you got any more questions for Jim, guys? Feel free to come up and ask him. Got a bit of time here for it. So, anyone got anything else? I'll ask you then, Jim, with this new book, because it's always a variation on your last two books, what are the changes with this one compared to when you had last time?
Basically, it's because it's got a lot of stories about franchisees in it. A lot of people have done. It's not just me being successful.
They would have had Dan today as
Yeah. We've got a lot of pictures in it, which we never had in the past. This is me and my wife just after we were married, and that's one of my very battered old yellow Volvo, for example. There's a lot of stuff in there about my childhood as well, and goes all over. That's me and a couple of my kids when they were very young. Hey, that's me with a beard. Can you see that one? It's yeah, it's a very different book. We've actually did a lot of work with a lady who's an editor in Utah, Andrea, who helped me to put it into a form that's very readable and engaging. So we've had some pretty good response for it so far.
Well, all the signed ones have sold out, so you signed a heap the other day. So
I signed about 80, didn't I?
Yeah, which is cool.
They run out.
Yeah, which is great, and it's great because it's cost price too. And you mentioned the other one you're working on real quickly, so do you want to talk about that, which is the birth rate crisis?
Birth rate crisis, yeah, due out early next year. It's basically mainly written. I'm just going through rewriting sections of it now, but the only thing we're waiting for is research findings from my team, because we're doing a lot of things to do with the dopamine system and the way it reacts. And yeah, basically the point about it is we're seeing this plunging birth rate all over the world. It's quite extraordinary. Most OECD, virtually all OECD countries except Israel, are actually way below fertility replacement. 2.1 children per woman is replacement. Australia, we're down about 1.6. East Asia, they're down to 1.2, 1.1. South Korea, 0.7. So we've got this tremendous drop in the birth rate. People have this idea that it's all about money. Because when you ask somebody why they don't have children, they say, oh, it's too expensive and childcare costs and this and this and this. It's just not true, though, because what happens is when the governments get involved with subsidies and childcare and all the rest of it, they're spending untold billions of dollars on subsidies. You know, Hungary is spending 5% of its GDP on subsidies. It's having no effect at all. So people say it's a lack of money. It's not. The real reason the birth rate is plunging is because there's a change of character. It's a change of character taking people away from group-minded, from faith, from community, from purpose, from cooperation, into selfish individualism, competition. And in that kind of attitude, children don't play a part of it. And it's also helping to make us lonely. People are more and more isolated, and it's causing real problems with mental health. So this change is making us infertile, it's making miserable, and it's making our society sick. And what we're doing in this research program is working out how to reverse that. We're developing treatments which is basically mimicking the effect of mild food restriction. That's how it works. And we're testing drugs on animals. We're doing all kinds of things, developing ways of helping people to have better lives. So it's a very radical approach. Nobody's tried this, but it's something that we believe could actually change the world dramatically, not just in terms of restoring birth rates to a healthy level, but also helping people to have more happy, meaningful lives.
We do a bit of content on it, so if they follow you or listen to your podcast about it, we do a bit of stuff in detail about it.
If you go to jimpenman.com.au, you can actually put down for my newsletter, which comes out every month, and we put upgrades of what's
going on. And your AI Jim's pretty good on it too. You're always testing it out and telling me if there's things wrong, and we're changing them and updating them. So yeah.
It is pretty good, actually. I'm surprising. Just occasionally you get something wrong, and then I say, okay.
So you haven't tried it yet on gyms.net or Jim's website. We have an AI Gym, which is basically trained on all this stuff over the years. It's got 1.6 million words of content. So it's not an open AI or anything like that. It's literally on his content. So you can ask him anything you like about your business. You have? How'd you find it?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah? What'd you ask it?
Do you want to know?
Yeah. Oh, well, I can see all the conversations, but I don't have a name on them. So I don't know who's knowing these, but
No. I just asked you because obviously we're coming into this and just being new to all this.
Yeah.
It's just like, but he answered it very well through AI, but he also answered it today in the media, training.
How was the answer? Was it very similar?
Very similar. It's basically just, who's taken over and what's structured when, how is it structured after you go through, hopefully you're with us for another 100 years or whatever it is, and it answered it very, very well. It told us about the trust that you've got in place. It told us, about, it's amazing because the people that you've got in your trust. And then it said...
There's one part that you wrote down.
So it did answer a fair bit. It answered it really well. So, it's what, again, one of the fellows here asked, it's, we want that security because we're investing so much in gyms, and where's gyms going to go? Like, are people going to come in and one day take over gyms? But you've made it very clear, you've got it so well in place that no one could ever just come in and buy it out.
Yeah, I made the change to the contract I mentioned about requiring majority written approval of franchisees for anybody to take control of it. And my CFO just looked at me and said, you're going to dramatically cut your wealth if you do that. Basically, it makes it unsellable. And I said, good. That's what I want. I don't care. It's a funny thing, they interviewed me for Forbes magazine. And they approached me for Forbes. Now, Forbes, as you know, is all about wealth and this kind of thing, discussing business. And I said, listen, I'm a strange person to ask because I wouldn't even think becoming wealthy is one of my top 10 priorities. And I'm not even that wealthy by comparison with how well-known the brand is, because it's just not been my goal. So, but it was strange. And they said, oh, well, no, we'll put you in as the charitable side or something, I don't know. But they did interview me eventually.
Well, the AI gym is interesting because I see all the conversations, but we don't ask you for a name or anything, so it's anonymous. But you don't see names. But it's interesting to see some of the questions people ask. But we actually have franchisees jump on for support. So if they can't get onto their franchisor, they'll go, can I do this in my franchisor situation, or what would happen in this lead situation, or whatever. And because it's all from his content, it's not from any ChatGPT, that's not a bad answer. And everything we do now, like this, for example, goes up into the digital brain, and they'll get converted. And then any answer you hear tonight, if you ask a question that's similar to it, it'll probably pull it from this, and you can access it. But it's getting a little bit better every time.
Which is why we like the unusual questions, because the more difficult
more training data, that's what it gives
more data.
So we've got another one here online real quickly. Jim from Brennan's gone, thoughts on implementing CPI when some franchisees are struggling? Totally get franchisees can implement it also, but if you are doing well from us, then why implement it? Trying to understand why you implemented it, CPI.
Our aim, basically what they're asking is that we should reduce our fees. Because in effect, that's what you do if you don't put CPI, and our fees should go down. Now, I would say the same thing to this.
I think Brendan's a franchisee.
Brendan.
Yeah. He's doing well, he says.
As I would to the clients. What is our philosophy about customer service, about how we treat customers? Do we say, let's give you the cheapest possible price, but pretty ordinary service? Or let's do the amazingly great service, but charge a fair price for it? Now, I see the same role with us. Our aim is to provide our franchisees the absolute best possible service, and that requires investment in things like IT. And I think that if we did that, just to give you an idea, we probably turn over close to $1 billion a year. The actual profit of the company would be less than 1% of that. Now, if we reduced our profits to nothing, basically, it would make stuff all different to the average franchisee, but it would take away our ability to be able to provide better and improved service. So our goal is this: we don't intend to increase our prices, they don't go up, but we intend to maintain them. But what we want to do is to get better and better service to franchisees. And frankly, when I see franchisees who say, if only I paid a bit less fees, I'd be okay, I say it makes so little difference. What about helping you to make more income? And I go through with them and I say, what about doing this and this? You're not asking for work. Why not put your prices up 10%? Think about it. You're earning $150,000 a year. You put your prices up 10%, you're making $15,000 a year extra. Comparison with that, a couple of bucks off your fees? No, it doesn't count. Or let's look about upselling. Let's looking about using technology better, cutting your time down, improving your efficiency. We can help you in so many ways to make so much more money. And that's got to be our goal. Because fees are not the issue. It's how much you're making that's the issue. Our fees average about 6% of turnover. It's not a lot. It really isn't. And taking that down a tiny bit would make very little difference. But if we can help you to do better. And every franchisee has this thing. Yes, they can talk to AI Jim. They can also talk to the Bill Jim. And I do this every day. I talk to franchisees about problems with income, and I say, well, what about this? What about doing some cross-divisional work? What about setting yourself up so you take leads into the evening? What about all these things that they can do? And I will help them. And these kind of things can make thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a year just by knowing how to run your business better. That's our goal.
Oh, thanks for that question, Brendan. That was a good one. Guys, anyone got a last question or a couple for Jim? We've got a little bit of time now. Anyone got any more? No, we can leave it there. I'll come up. Go for it. Yep, go for it.
So I want to ask just simple question. I came from Perth. Why you don't give like training to in other states? Why everyone has to come to Melbourne to get the training?
Generally speaking, the Melbourne training is a great experience. You get to see a range of people. You get to meet me personally. I'm not saying that's not all in all, but you don't get that if you go to Perth or New Zealand. And I like to be able, one thing I've discovered is that if I meet people personally, when somebody has an issue, they're more likely to contact me if they've met me. Now with Perth and with New Zealand, I actually do go and do a video question answer session. Yeah. And that's helped answer, but it's not the same as actually having meet me and pump fists and so forth, and then just see the facilities, and you can go and see the call centre. We just think the experience is better here. And we found since we've been doing it, we do better. Perth is a different situation, also in New Zealand, because the travel is so extreme.
Yes.
So that we run less often meetings there, and they do seem to work, the training seems to work fairly well, but we'd be very reluctant to take it beyond, because you want, numbers are important too. Also experience like this, ability to come to a room and just be part of an experience is valuable, and the food's pretty good, you've got to admit that, and that fellowship, and you're talking to people all over the country, and we think it's the best experience. We are reluctant to have training elsewhere, but we've found that we can, and it seems to work all right. But you do need the number too. It's not much good if you came and you were trying to be trained with 5 people. It would not be a good experience. And also we'd have to charge you a lot too. So, good question.
No, very good question. And real quickly online, Jim, one here is from Ali Styles gone, can Jim's franchisee or franchisor become part of a loyalty program which provides discounts to the members as a form of advertising and lead generation? Is there an opinion on it?
Loyalty to who? Loyalty programs from who?
I don't know, maybe it's a third party. Maybe Ali put in there real quickly what you're referring to, but there might be a third party or something like that. Or
we don't have loyalty schemes for customers for the simple reason we don't discount our services ever. We're not like airlines or anything else where there's a big margin. The money we charge franchisees is their income. We're not going to cut that in any way. So,
been tried in the past, like Groupon a while ago. I remember the cleaning group did that, but they did it once and it didn't prove overly. He said third party. So Ali's got in a third party. So there's maybe a third party site.
I don't know. There's a lot of these schemes around, but they're particularly aimed at companies. Like airlines is a good example of that one, because airlines have empty seats they want to fill up. Now we don't have empty spaces. We have, generally speaking, we're overloaded with work, so we don't discount our services. What we do try and do is have the best possible leads deals for our franchisees. So for example, I get approached regularly by people who want to sell to our guys, and I say to them, okay, what's the best deal that you can give my franchisees that you can't give to anybody else? We've got to have the best possible deal. And we get really, really good discounts on things like vehicles, paint's another one. We get fantastic discount for the painters and handymen. So we do that. We can get really good deals on things like brush cutter cord, all kinds of stuff. So we try and negotiate deals direct. We don't ever take any money ourselves. It's an absolute national policy that the 100% of the profit, the discount has to go to the franchisees.
So the gentleman's gone here, LMC2, which I'm familiar with, I'm sure for the boys here, like they have like a third-party website where obviously brands will sign up and they offer discounts via that sort of program. So that's the problem, is the discounts.
We won't do it because it's up to you guys to give discounts. We're not going to give it, and I don't suggest you do. You know, all my 15 years of my own contract, I never gave anybody a pension or discount. I'm a real hard guy.
We get asked that question a bit about the pension.
I give away 90% of my net income to something that I believe in. That's my charity. I try tithe to my church, okay? But business isn't charity. It's totally different.
Just one question. Has anyone ever tried putting, like when you're driving down the freeway, a big billboard saying Jim's Group or Jim's Tradies? Has anyone ever tried it yet?
Divisions do it sometimes. So Clean Group might do it, or Mowing might do it, yeah.
Has it been successful for anyone, or...?
Oh, it's more just like above the line sort of stuff, which they have extra money in the divisional advertising fund. They want to do a bit of branding, so they might do a TV or they might do a billboard instead in some places. It all depends.
Look, the way I see it, if I drove down, or if you asked 20 cars that drove down and saw a big Jim sign, you ask them 2 hours later, they'll tell you, we saw Jim. You ask them, I reckon, a day later or 2 days later, they'll still say, you know, that was Jim on the board there, because it's just... The logo is it's in the back of everyone's subconscious mind, and I don't know. I just thought maybe if someone's tried it.
No, a lot of the divisions will do it. So divisions will do billboards. They might do buses and things like that.
We used to have Jim's Antennas used to have a office, and
Mowing,
it backed onto the freeway. It had a big sign that people could see going down the freeway. But that's just with the office. That's one reason they chose it. So it's good. But look, the thing, we have a fantastic advantage. Is that, you know, you get people who drive around with these big trailers with these signs. Have you seen those ones? Yes. Cost them an absolute fortune to do it. Guess what? We have probably 7,000 of those things. They're called vans and trailers. And if you drive anywhere in Australia, you're going to pass these things. It's like spot the thing. I drive my son to school in the morning and I can usually see several different gyms. But not only that, not only is it the gym's logo, but what's really great is it's got Jim's pest control on it. Because you might know Jim's Mowing and Jim's Cleaning, but you didn't know that Jim's do pest control. So suddenly when your house is overrun by spiders or whatever it is, you say, oh, well, Jim's does pest control. I saw that. Wow. And they recognise, they think of it, oh, you know, Jim's is into conveyancing. Jim's is into dog wash. Who knew? So it's actually an incredibly powerful part, which is one reason that one thing we're very tough on as franchisors is signage. And every couple of years we're going to ask you to prove that you've got proper signage, and if you don't have that, you're going to get into serious trouble because it's so powerful. And what we find is that the more franchisees from a division we have in an area, the more work we have. Not just the more work, absolutely, but the more work per franchisee.
Best ones are the meme stickers. Like might have Jim's bush bashing or something like that, Jim's four-wheel drive recovery, and someone will take a photo of that in traffic and upload it into a Facebook group, and they might get like 5,000 likes or reach 120,000 people. So those are really cool ones, which are the meme ones, which is Jim doesn't mind. So
you know, you're talking about, somebody was talking before about sponsorship. Actually, people do it themselves.
They do all the meme stickers and stuff.
We have cars that are actually completely made up to look like a Jim's Mowing trailer with all the green and even the 1315. We didn't pay for that. They actually came to us to ask permission to do it, which is quite amazing. We've had all sorts of weird and wonderful logos and Jim's.
Stickers and merch and stuff, and the meme pages do really well. So
yeah.
We had a guy come in, there's these Jim's war crime stickers or something that gets around, and a guy literally said that's the first thing that got him interested into gyms, which I couldn't believe when he came in. So that was a meme, got us a franchise sale. So
we had a competition one year at the Franchisor Conference for a new division, and the winner was somebody came up with Jim's Hitmen. They had white polos with little black guns on them, you know, and offered, if you've got problems, we'll make them go away from this.
Jim's debt collection, it could be, Jim's debt collection.
A guy with a club.
But on our website, we have a logo generator. So you can actually go to gyms.net in the footer and make your own Jim's logo and download it. And we've done comps and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, we're very liberal about use of our
we don't mind. People are very uptight about it. We get members of the public going, do you see this sticker out here? You should be, want retribution.
Or Jim's Brazilians, there's no one going around the place. They had
the Wicked Camper van, The Wicked Camper.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The Jim's Brazilians with all the other services it's got.
Looping back to some of the other gyms, sort of divisions and the offerings that you that are out there and available, out of how many of them have you personally undertaken? So obviously Mowing was the first one, but have you been out there and have you been in the dog washing space, and have you done some of those other sort of gyms services?
No, personally,
Yeah.
no. The only thing I ever did that wasn't mowing was carpet cleaning, and I really, really, really hated it. Sorry, apologies to carpet cleaners. Those who like that kind of thing is great. And no hater said to me once, the term of cleaning. I said, why would you want to do cleaning when you could be out, in the fresh air mowing lawns? He said, you've got to be joking. You're getting rained on, you're getting hot. Cleaning is inside. This is a guy who used to work in a bank, and he did cleaning as a part-time after-hours thing. And he found out he was making more money, and he enjoyed it more as a cleaner than as a banker. And he's now got nearly 2,000 franchises he's looking after. So, yeah, it's what you like doing.
The second part of the question is, I've had the great experience of being out on a number of observation days with a number of franchisees down in my area, and I've come away from that sort of, again, pretty excited and thrilled with what's to come. I'd like to extend the offer to yourself, Jim, that once I'm down that space and I've got my own sort of van and trailer, for you to jump in and
Down the road, Jim. Undercover Jim, eh?
Undercover Jim.
Yeah,
I'll have the wig and the moustache ready, and we can go from there.
It's not a bad idea if you want to do a day in the field. I don't.
Yeah, we could do it sometime.
I'm happy to go out here. I do the day on the roads.
I've got a car big enough that everybody can come for a drive.
I'm happy to go with you. We do the day on the roads.
Get his team to come out on the road with you, especially when you are super successful. As I'm talking to you at dinner time, I think you may well be. Then we can use you as an example of how you can make $2 million a year or whatever.
Perfect.
If you've got Jim Brazilians, he might come.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have been asked about that before, about getting you out in the field for a day for franchisee, but I don't.
They got me answering.
We've done the phones.
They've done the phone calls in the call centre too. I tell you what, that's difficult. I used to do it all the time, but all the technology is so new.
Yeah.
That was a real struggle.
We're happy to do the day on the road, but I don't know about you. We do it as well. So, Jim, what were your favourite? So, what we're going to do tonight? Thanks for all your questions, guys. Jim will pick his 3 favourite, which just means you get first pick of the prize. Everyone who asks Jim a question, though, gets a pick of the prize, where you've got the beers and the stuff here as well, which you can get from Jim's shop. If you want a photo tonight with Jim as well, please hand me your phone here. It's a better light here, and it's not as rushed as it is tomorrow.
Yeah, look, we had actually so many great questions today, which was unusual. I love the ADHD one. Whoever said that? I think that was.
Yep, no worries. Come up.
Yeah, come
ask you for an on-air diagnosis about ADHD. Cool. Which one would you like to grab? Grab anything.
I'd love a cup.
The cup. Yeah. All right, no worries. And you get a book as well.
Take a book as well.
Go for it. Cool. What else, Jim? Who else is there, Jim?
I love the question about 30 years. Nobody's ever asked me that, Mafas. What 30 years do we see? Who was that?
Yes.
Yourself? All right.
Come up and grab some. Which would you like first? You can take anything.
Take anything at all?
Yes, go for it. Absolutely. And then you grab a book.
Take a book.
Yeah. And what was the third one there you had, Jim? Yep.
About the AI question, I think that was really...
This gentleman here?
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
That's so many good questions, this guy. So
yeah, but anyone asks a question, you can come up and get a prize anyway at the end, so it's all good.
Pick something.
Which one would you like?
I'll take the hat.
Take the hat?
Take the hat?
Yep. And grab a book.
Okay, and grab a book. Anybody else here?
Yeah, and everyone else asks a question, come up at the end and get it. But guys, thank you very much for your attention tonight. We appreciate it. And hope you have a good rest of your training experience. Thank you.